Okay, what is up, everyone? Today is July 22nd, 2026. Today I took two trades, one win, one loss, and I ended up losing $242 today on the day. Today was a very tough trading day. I'd say for the first entry. For the second entry, it was also tough, almost stopped me out on both entries. So pretty stressful trading day. Having to take two entries is never ideal, but we ended up making it work. Cut the losing day in half. So we will start on the higher time frame going over our bias. So today I had a bullish bias coming into 10 a.m. We ended up closing above this 2 a.m. candle high right here. So I was bullish for the day. Next, we can drop down to the 15-minute time frame, where you can see my first entry was I was looking for this gap to be tapped below 10 a.m. opening price. So here's 10 a.m. We ended up opening, and we took 15 minutes to create this new gap here. So once 10 a.m. opened, I wanted to see us come down, fill this 15-minute, and target higher to this external high. So that was the PD array that I wanted to see hit. So once we develop this, we can go down to the lower time frame. This is when 10:15 starts, so a new 15-minute candle. We end up dumping into this 15-minute gap right here. So this would be our internal PD array, our internal structure. And then all we're looking for out of this internal structure would be our change in the state and delivery right here. Okay, and this would be considered our stop hunt right here. So for me, this is super A+. The only thing that I noticed about this trade that sort of made me a little bit skeptical was, so we ended up getting really good displacement, right? So we have amazing displacement through the CISD. That's like perfect. But the step that really, it takes a lot of discretion, that takes time to understand, that is these lows right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows. So this could be considered low resistance liquidity at your stop loss, which is not ideal. Even though we did have that, I'm still willing to take this trade. But you'll see in the second trade what I'm talking about, the difference between having multiple lows at your stop loss versus just having one singular wick. So this could definitely hinder the probabilities of the trade playing out. We could play through this trade. It did take a very long time. I almost got stopped out multiple times, which was very interesting. And then I believe right there, I ended up getting stopped out. So very choppy trade. Like again, these lows probably made it to where I got stopped out. But I'm willing to take this trade every single time. So that was the first trade that I ended up taking. Okay, and then here was the second trade I ended up taking right here. I lost around $440 on this first trade, and then won about $200 on this second trade that I ended up taking here. So for this trade, we ended up having an SMT with this low. So that would be considered our stop hunt right here, that we had an SMT with ES, as you can see right here. ES took out this swing low while NQ did not. And then we created our bullish change in the state and delivery from right here. Again, we are delivering from a 30-minute internal fair value gap right here. So this is still considered A+. This is a very high probability area. We're moving from internal structure to external structure. So that is something I am definitely willing to take 10 times out of 10. We have, again, amazing displacement through the CISD and below 10 a.m. opening price, targeting a 1-to-1 risk reward. So I ended up taking this as my second trade, and we come down here and we almost get stopped out right here, and then price decides to move up, and then we start ripping towards our external draw right here, which ends up getting taken out. So this was the second trade. I would say, oh yeah, again, so this is the difference between the first trade and then the second trade was, if you look at our stop loss placement, right, we get the CISD here, and there's one singular wick here at our stop loss instead of having 5 low resistance lows all stacked up with each other. So I definitely like it when it's one singular wick like this as compared to these 5 lows stacked up like this, just so you can see the difference between the two. And yeah, this second trade ended up playing out, delivering from this 30-minute gap right here, and I believe it took around 16 minutes to play out. So very quick trade. And yeah, that's pretty much how July 22nd went today. Very interesting day. And the reason I couldn't risk as much as I wanted to on the second trade was because we only have a certain amount of drawdown left. I believe I now have $375 worth of drawdown left on this account. So on the second trade, I couldn't risk. I could only risk $200 worth of drawdown on the second trade. So that's why I didn't risk as much as I did on the first trade. But yeah, that's the only thing. I did manage my risk as well as good as I possibly have done today. So that's all that matters. Hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and get a winning setup on the first trade, and we'll be right back to where we started for the week. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you guys.